This one, let's just spin it.
Yep. Okay. Hey, we're going live for a second time. I had technical difficulties. So today we're going to be painting a spoonbill, which is a bird native to Florida. I have an upcoming class where we can paint birds of choice. You can either get the pre-sketched pelican if you don't have a bird you want to paint, or you can send me a picture of a bird you want to paint and I will sketch it for you so that you can paint it. So today we're going to be using chalk paints. I was going to bring all my acrylics up here, but these work just as well, so that we can get a good color. I found a picture of a spoonbill online that I'm going to use, and we're going to start with the background. You'll see that I've sketched it out for you already. And we're going to do the background first, because I always tell people when I'm teaching that you need to go from the back in towards the front. So you would layer things just like you would as if you were getting dressed. You would put on your undergarments and then your regular clothes, then your coat on top of that. So layer a painting the same way. Put what's in the back first and then bring it forward for the best way to paint. That way things look like they should be in order. It's really hard to paint something and then come back with the background later. That makes it really difficult, and it doesn't look natural. It looks natural if you just stack it like you would any other thing that you're doing. You would always start with what's underneath and then come forward. So the background in this picture that I chose is blurred out, and it's really just like a water and grassland. It's almost probably like a marshy look to it. So we're going to use very subtle colors of blue and green for the background, and I'm going to try and give them a blurred look so that they don't take over the front. You don't want your main piece to compete with the background piece. So I just have an array of greens. I'm using Dixie Belle today because I like it. I have an array of greens and blues here, and we're just going to kind of blend them together to create our background.
Peyton says hello from Antique Alley.
Hi, Peyton. Over on Antique Alley. Now, it doesn't matter if you get on to what you're going to paint later, because like I said, we'll be layering on top of it. So I'm just going to come across here with some different types of greens and blues to bring out the reflections in the water. And I really don't want them to be thick and heavy. I want a very light, airy look in the background. With this canvas, it's okay to go up and down the inside to side. What you don't want to do is get in here and go in a circular motion, because you're creating a look behind. So I'm just going to give it. You do have to go up and down though sometimes to get into those little canvas grooves. This is an 11 by 14 canvas, gallery wrapped canvas that I have here. Oh, we'll have this pretty green in here.
Hey, welcome to our valley.
We have a lot going on here today. All right.
Oh, okay, great. Well, my name is Callie. If you need anything, just call it for me. Thank you.
I'm going to hit the sides of this too with this green. Bob Ross vibes. How's the connection look on Facebook?
Oh, it's looking pretty good. Well, actually, on the Instagram. Let me check the
All right.
Facebook.
I'm gonna go ahead and use this green for the sides. I love these gallery wrapped canvases.
It's looking the same.
Not a good set, not a good signal still.
Yeah.
Well, someday we'll get that under control.
We're gonna get it.
Well, and it's not even us, it's the service here in this area,
Mm-hmm.
which we called AT&T and talked about it, and she promised me that we would be having fiber optics in this area by the end of October.
I just recently switched to AT&T, and the customer service has been so much better,
Really?
just by a mile compared, because we were with Xfinity before.
But I've heard they're hard to deal with.
Yeah, and every person that we said, oh, we use Xfinity, people would go, I'm sorry. And yeah, trying to cancel was a nightmare.
I've never used Xfinity.
Oh, they're awful. They're overpriced. They're terrible, and they make it impossible for you to cancel.
Wow.
They're like a toxic boyfriend that's like, if I don't talk to you, you can't break up.
That's a good way to put it.
So I just straight up went to the store with the equipment and was like, get out of my life. And
Here's your clothes back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't talk to me anymore. We're broken up. And even then, that took 40 minutes.
Wow.
Because they were avoiding talking to me. They were like dealing with every other customer. But AT&T has been great. We're very happy with them.
All right. Let me get. So I got all of those edges painted and out of the way. Now, I'm gonna picture it back out so I can see what I'm doing here. Well, that doesn't work. I was gonna stand it up. It's hard to stand something on a slope though. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of lime green up here. The grass behind his head seems to be a yellower color. We're just looking at a marsh, really, in the background. So I'm doing it kind of like stripes of color. That would be like water, grass, land. Just bringing it on down. Mixing some of the other colors in. I really want it to just blend in behind him. And then looks like a little bit of white, more of a tannish color here. Can you believe October's almost over?
I know, it's been crazy.
I know.
It's been a whirlwind of a month.
Yeah. Like, we just went straight from July to October is what it feels
That's
like.
what it feels like,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's been like crazy. I can't believe like Halloween is already this year.
I know. All right. Still doing this background here. So I'm really just kind of blurring these colors together. We don't want them to be just like definite lines. You really don't want your background to overtake your foreground. And I'm using a lot of water so that it's really thin, and that even if it's thin, this chalk paint will really still cover. That's one thing about it. It's really dark. I mean, not dark, thick. I said that as I was dipping in a darker color.
I do that.
Say whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Just checking everybody's.
Hi.
Doing a live video on here. This is our painter Sarah.
Hello.
She does live videos every Wednesdays and Fridays, and usually has a local artist come on too and share their like process. So how do you find it? On our Facebook page and on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? Art Alley Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun.
Okay. The water really starts around here, but there's a reflection on the water of the grassy area behind it. So I'm just gonna let this green into this blue. I'm using Pure Ocean Blue. It's one of my favorite blues by Dixie Belle. And I want to use a few places that are really blue in here. And then I'm going to switch back to my blue. Now I'm going to just add white to the blue instead of green. This is kind of my water line right there, where his leg breaks the water, or his foot really right there. So what we're looking at down here is the reflection on the water. All right. So that's going to be my background for now. And later I will add a reflection of the legs, and I'll add a little bit of blue to that too so that you can see it on the water. There was no definite break in any of this. So I didn't really create harsh lines. It really just blends into the background in the actual image that I'm looking at from a photographer. All right, now we are going to start on the bird. So these Roseate pink spoonbills are a mixture of white and pink. I decided to use this. It's called Desert Rose. And then I was also going to use peach because there seems to be, or apricot, sorry, not peach, apricot. There seems to be a lot of like apricot flamingo colors going on. I don't have a flamingo colored paint. They do make one, but I don't have one. So maybe that's my next purchase. Mix this up a little bit. This Desert Rose has a very blue base to it for me. So I like using it on birds because they do reflect the sky or the water. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to start out, with the white base on him. And then I'll come in with my colors. All right, so we're going to just edge his back. It doesn't need to be a solid line because his back is made of feathers. And I'm going to edge his neck here, around his spoonbill and the top of the head, just to get my form. All right. And underneath, contour that, and he holds a lot of color in his wing area, not so much in his neck and chest. So we're going to come in with this Desert Rose here. I'm just going to add this color in. One thing that I like about these paints is that they aren't super vibrant. They're more muted. And I like that. I like a more soft look. I'm going to mix this apricot in. Again, get it wet. Remember to add water to your brush so that things will smooth out. They'll flow a little smoother. To create this feathered look, I'm going to just be dragging my brush down one stroke on top of another. Here, I'm going to pull down from this other color. And bring these feathers down. And a little bit of soft across the back. You're always going to paint the feathers that are underneath first, just like you would any of the other parts, because they'll lay under and the back feathers will lay on top. I'm going to add some more water here.
Gosh, you're fast.
Well, the bird's body isn't that much. And you've got to work fast when you're working with acrylics or chalk paints or anything because they dry so fast. And I'm a big blender.
Mm-hmm.
I like to blend things in.
I'll walk away for a minute and come back and you've got so much done.
A little bit of pink there. Okay, I want a darker pink on some of this. So I got out this Fiery Sky. It has a very pink base. I'm going to get a smaller brush here. Let's see. I'm going to get some of this red and I'm going to mix a little bit of white with it. But I'm going to get a really red pink here. And come in under here. And under here. They just out shopping.
Mm-hmm. I think they were at the Brown Bag concert. And they decided to just walk over. They said they had shopped with us before, so. Cool.
So yeah, I like that. Also, his legs have a very red, peachy color to them. One thing about these waterfowl birds, like the tall ones, the leggy ones, they all have knobby knees.
Mm-hmm. I think spoonbills are so beautiful.
They are.
Apparently there's some around here. I've never seen them apart from flying way, way overhead. I spotted some, but I've never seen them on the ground anywhere or up cliffs.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna add some orange.
They probably went out to Lake Darbo and all that. I'll find them.
I've never seen one either.
I've seen plenty of gators
Right?
and herons. I used to have a blue heron that lived outside my apartment.
Oh, really?
He was so cute.
So for this reflection down here, I'm just gonna lightly dust in this color. There's gonna be a definite line where his leg meets the water. This is such a weird angle to paint from. Like, I know I'm gonna hate it later. Later, I'm gonna be like, why did I do that? Let's see here. Okay, I'm like perched on my chair. So what I'm gonna do, let me see, I'm gonna take some of this blue again, this white and blue, and I want to kind of come over it, blend it in just a little bit. So I'm just lightly brushing this blue over what I just painted, because I don't want to like smear it all over into the blue. And then I'm coming up and down with my finger on it to give that illusion that it's made of water. Can you see that? How it looks a little bit like it's got water running over it? So that it's the illusion of a reflection. I'm gonna come back around here with some lighter highlights in the water. And I'm also gonna kind of cover up where I smeared any of the pink into the blue. There we go. All right, okay. So there's our reflected legs. Now let me come back on the body. I am not seeing. So his bill seems to have a lot of like tan color in it. So I'm going to use this putty to help with that color. So that you can see this. So I'm going to start by coming down. Giving him this flat, round bill. And then I'm going to come back with some white. That's such a weird angle. And I'm just going to keep brushing white on top of the beak until I get the desired look that I want. I'm going to take a little bit of red here and I'm going to come down.
Jewel.vic says, hey, sugar.
That's my daughter. Hey, Victoria. That's one of my girls. All right, let me get a really thin, pointy brush.
He looks so
Thank
cute.
you. Let me use some dark gray for my shading. They have red eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm gonna give a little bit of dark gray mixed in with this putty underneath his bill to show your shadow, and then underneath this part of his cheek too. Let me come back.
Also, y'all, if you want to come over tonight, we are having our crochet / creative circle tonight from 6 to 7. It's free. You just bring whatever project you've been working on, like your crochet, your cross stitching, embroidery, painting, like whatever you want. Just come out, sit with us. We're just all going to be working on our projects together and just socializing, sharing tips. If anybody needs advice or critique or anything, like an outside view of what they're working on, and
just be inspirational to each other.
Yeah, and encouraging to each other. Doesn't matter your skill level, anything, doesn't matter what you're working on, just bring it over, sit with us, and it's going to be a good time. So it's tonight here at Art Alley Marketplace from 6 to 7.
Right. Come sit with Callie. I'm probably going to stay tonight. Because I want my mom to come.
It's going to be a good
time. Just inspire each other.
Yeah.
We named it Hooking for Inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's a pun. Is that what it's called? A pun from looking for inspiration.
Right.
You're hooking for inspiration.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like crochet hooks.
Yes.
So.
It's a pun.
We're not hookers.
No, it's definitely a pun.
But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I brought tons of like extra supplies of different types of mediums for people. They're like free to dig in my suitcase of goodies and
Yes.
maybe discover like a new craft that they want to try. And
Yes.
yeah, so and I brought some books as well for them to look through and maybe learn something new.
It's gonna be fun, and you're gonna want to be a part of it, especially like as it grows and you just become your own little family of
yeah,
knitters and crocheters.
yeah, just
Listen
all
to other
kinds of
people's
things.
ideas, figure out how to do something together.
So it'll be the last Wednesday of every month.
Yes.
So tonight is our very first one, and I strongly
I
encourage
can't
you
believe
guys
we're
to
on the
come out.
last Wednesday of October.
I know,
That's insane.
it's weird. This month has flown by, but we're gonna have fun tonight.
Yes. So really how I do these, like I'm not trying to paint a spoonbill head. I'm literally looking at the picture and seeing where light and dark areas are and painting light and dark areas. And it all just comes together. They're not solid white now that I've zoomed in on the picture. There's a lot of like speckles on the neck and head that I didn't see before. So, okay, at the top of his head, he has these little feathers. So what I'm going to do is just take my brush and lightly sweep out in a curved motion, just to give him a little bit of fluff right there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes I have to talk myself through it. And then he also has a little tuft, like a chest feather here, but they're red. So I'm going to dip into my red and pink and white. And he's very pink, but I never actually used pink paint today. I've used variations of apricot and desert rose, which I guess desert rose is kind of a pink. But he's got that little chest feather. Cummerbund, no, that's around your waist. What's on your chest?
Like an ascot.
Yeah. I said, yeah, like I know what that is.
it's like a necktie but fancy.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the billowy one, you know?
Fan brush. Don't be afraid of your fan brush. Just kind of sweeping these out. Give it some more long life limbs. Ascot away.
Y'all, it's a perfect day to come to Art Alley and paint ceramics outside. We have picnic tables outside where you could just come and like, 'cause it's such a beautiful day. There's like a nice breeze. Y'all should come out.
So I'm going to drag some of these down into the other feathers with my fan brush. And doing that just kind of helps to get those tiny little wisps to show up. And as usual, we've got Austin upstairs teaching guitar. If you need a place to get your child into guitar lessons, or if you want to take guitar lessons, we have got it for you. So all I'm doing now at this point is playing with the feathers until I get it like I want it. Adding in new light and dark areas until it looks like what I think it should look like. And no two birds are alike. Don't be afraid to do it your own style. Somebody said one time that I do pelicans in a weird way, like with I make their bodies fat or something. And that's okay. That is okay. I'm bringing some wisps of white in here. Feel like I'm kind of going up and down on these. Up to pull them into the darker red ones and down to pull them on top of the lower body feathers. Sounds like they're moving furniture upstairs.
Yeah, that's the upstairs gallery. Those are our neighbors.
I've never been up there.
I used to be a resident artist there, and it's a great place, but I haven't been up there in a long time.
Can you just go up there and look?
No, it's generally closed. They keep their door locked.
That's not nice.
They're open during art crawl, but like, usually during art crawl, I'm so busy being here that like I don't get to walk around and see everybody else's stuff.
Give them some little dots here. Because they seem to have like darker fur dotted in with their lighter fur. I am liking that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So now I feel like I'm going to do some detail. I think some highlights and lowlights with a very thin brush. And the eyes. Okay, let's start with the legs here. He does have a very dark toe down here. So I'm going to come down here on top of this. And I'm also going to give it like a very dark area where it hits the water. When you're doing this, I'm almost doing like a ripple with my brush. And give him there is some dark, almost black spaces in here. When you dip your brush, I like to like twirl it just to get it back to a nice point. You can see that. I'm trying to get it in front of the camera. I'm not very good at that. Okay. He does have some very dark spaces on the back side of his knees, which I may come back with a graphic pen later and do some detail right there. then up here where his legs come down. Around the back of his knees. Use my finger to rub that in. Adding dark to an area gives it the illusion of being under something else. So this leg is really back behind this leg. So we're just showing that with this dark area. I'm just rubbing it in a little bit. This one not so much because it's in the foreground. All right. A little dark under here. Where some of these feathers are coming out from under the other ones. Some dark under here. And under here. We have a mascot party this week.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday, yeah. We had such a good turnout at the last one.
Yeah, we did. It's like so much fun. It was such a good time. The painting classes. Anytime people are painting, they seem to have such a good time.
A lot of people think like they can't do them. Like I don't have any artistic ability, but we make it so easy to do it because we get the canvas ready for you.
Yeah, and you have all those like etched lines in it. It's like if you can color in a coloring book, you can paint one of these.
Yeah, for sure. For
Just
sure.
color in the lines.
So weird, the red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me a weird vibe. When you do your eye and you want to add your purple, don't try to paint a circle. Dip your paintbrush in the paint and then dot it onto it. Don't ever try to paint a circle. Tiny circle.
Yeah, it never works out.
Don't do it. I'm going to do some white lights.
I need to run to go pick up my lunch.
Okay.
Finally, now that it's 2:00.
Do it. Coming back with just a few little super white highlights. All right.
You have a good one. All right.
Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. You did this little jump, man. Golly. Boy.
Almost done. Something about the white highlights at the end and the little black lines really just bring these to life when you're doing birds. Just doing some little swiggles here. All right. I'm liking that. You know what I need to do? Just adding some little squiggly whites in here. Just to show like the ripples of the water where the sun's hitting it. I think I like that. So this was our Roseate Spoonbill tutorial. Like I said, we have a bird class next week. If you want to get in, you can just purchase your ticket online. And if you want to send me a picture of the bird you want to paint, I can sketch it for you. Or if you want just a regular pelican one, you don't have to do anything. But thank y'all for coming today and watching this live of this Spoonbill. And everybody, peace out. I'll see you on Friday.